Okay, so you're here listening because you want to speak better English, right? Who doesn't? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving deep into a resource packed with tips to improve your fluency.
That's right. We're talking 10 actionable strategies. 10.
Exactly. 10 things you can actually use to improve your speaking. Everything from making practice a regular thing to idioms and all that good stuff.
And we're not just going to list them off. We'll unpack why they work too. Get into the science behind it.
Yeah. Okay, so first up, consistent practice. This resource really hammers home that even short, regular sessions are way more effective than those random marathon study sessions.
Yeah, totally. Like even just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Right. So if you're like, speaking practice, just start small. Talk to yourself.
Seriously.
No, but really, describe your morning routine or what you're going to do today. It's super low pressure and gets you comfortable with making sounds in English.
Exactly. What's really interesting is how this kind of consistent practice, it actually helps cement the language in your brain.
So it becomes more automatic.
Right. It's like building a habit.
Okay, so next up, vocabulary. The resource points out that building your vocabulary doesn't have to be boring.
Definitely not.
You can learn new words by doing things you already enjoy, like read books, watch movies, listen to podcasts.
Yeah, and when you encounter new words in a context that you're actually interested in, you're way more likely to remember them.
Think about it. If you're reading about a topic you love or watching a show that's got you hooked, those new words just stick with you. It's like creating your own little English world, right?
Exactly. You're immersing yourself in the language.
Okay, now pronunciation. This could be a big hurdle, right?
It can be, but honestly, there are so many resources out there now. Like YouTube is amazing for this.
So many great videos that break down how to make specific sounds.
And don't forget about language apps. A lot of them have pronunciation guides too.
So true. Okay, what does the resource say is the key thing with pronunciation?
Active listening. So listening to native speakers and comparing your pronunciation to theirs. Pay attention to how they form sounds and try to mimic that.
Yeah, it's all about those tiny details that make a difference.
And even those small adjustments can really improve your pronunciation.
Absolutely.
Ah.
Okay, and this ties into our next point, which is active listening. So it's not just about hearing words right.
Oh, it's deeper than that.
It's about tuning into the rhythm, the intonation, the little nuances that native speakers use.
Yeah, you got to absorb how they actually talk.
And there's no better way to do this than by watching TV shows or listening to podcasts.
Exactly. The resource talks about focused attention. Don't just have English playing in the background. Really listen and try to pick out new words or phrases.
Okay, so now comes the scary part, actually speaking with other people. This is what the resource says is crucial for building confidence.
There's no substitute for real-world practice.
Right. So find a language exchange partner or join an online conversation group.
Yeah. At first it might feel a little nerve-wracking, but trust me, that's where the magic happens.
You put everything you've learned into action.
Plus, you get that immediate feedback. Even if it's just someone nodding their head, they understood you.
Exactly. It's super motivating. Okay, so language apps, Duolingo, Babbel, HelloTalk. Our resource is all about how convenient these are.
They're so accessible. You can fit them into any schedule.
Totally. And they provide structured practice, which can be really helpful.
And some of them even connect you with native speakers, so you can actually practice your speaking.
Yeah, they're a great addition to your learning routine. Okay, so here's a tip that can make your English sound a lot more natural. Learn common expressions.
Oh, yeah. Idioms, everyday phrases, all that good stuff.
Think of phrases like piece of cake. Understanding those makes a big difference.
Definitely. And these expressions often reflect, cultural nuances, so learning them helps you understand how native speakers actually communicate.
Okay, next up, when you're speaking, especially if you're feeling a bit nervous, remember this. It's okay to slow down.
Yeah, take your time. Be clear.
Rushing and becoming unclear is not going to help anyone.
The resource actually points out that speaking slowly and deliberately can be more effective.
It gives the listener time to process what you're saying. So clarity over speed any day.
Absolutely.
Okay, another really important point, get feedback.
So important.
Don't be afraid to ask teachers, language partners, online communities for constructive criticism. It's the best way to identify areas where you can improve.
Think of feedback as a gift. It's a chance to see your speaking through someone else's eyes.
Okay, and finally, motivation. This is key for making real progress, right?
You got to stay motivated, especially when learning a language. It takes time.
Our resource reminds us to celebrate those small wins Every little bit of progress counts.
I like to think of it as setting small, achievable goals and then acknowledging each milestone.
That's a great way to look at it. Okay, so to recap our 10 steps for better English speaking. Practice regularly. Expand your vocabulary focus on pronunciation. Listen actively, engage in conversations, use language apps, learn common expressions, speak clearly, seek feedback, and stay motivated.
So much good stuff. Now think about your own learning style. What one or two of these strategies can you realistically incorporate into your routine this week?
Yeah, what's one small action you can take today? We'd love to hear about it. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.